What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we are doing Part 1 of Keep Your Foot on the Pedrogas, which is complete all of Halo Reach's legendary campaign missions in under 3 hours. So this is named after the Halo Reach speedrunner, Pedrogas, I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure, and that's on me. But regardless, we're going to start off by sprinting down this slope, trying to catch Pedrogas. We will not be able to because he is super fast at this game, but we're going to try to get under 3 hours. We're not going for, a world record near his time because that's obscenely hard and it's unnecessary to get the achievement. So there's some tricks in this game that he would use, of course, to get a world record and other, top speedrunners, but we're not going to use them because we only need to come in at under 3 hours. So we don't need to be, cutting down this to sub 2 hours, sub hour and a half like they would want to do. But anyway, we're just going to keep running through. There's no enemies or anything in this section, just a bunch of dialogue that we're not interested in at the moment. And this is kind of a tutorial-esque part of the game where it's kind of teaching you how to run and sprint and jump and everything. But we're just going to keep going forward. And the par times for this game, for Reach, actually add up. If you add up all the par times, they add up to 2 hours and 35 minutes, I believe. So if you just hit the par times for every single mission, you will easily get this achievement to unlock. And you have 25 minutes to spare. So we're going to save some time probably on this mission because it's one of the easier ones. So we'll have even more than 25 minutes to work with for the remainder. So this section is the first one where there's going to be some enemies. We're just going to sprint past most of them. So we're just going to jump down the stairs here, and then we're going to jump over the fence here, or I guess it's a fence, and then cut into the right and go up the ramp. And we're going to take some damage probably. We took a decent amount there. But we're going to go to the end of the wall here, and we're going to wait for our sprint to recharge, and then we're going to sprint down to the right and just keep on the right here, on the right side of the map. And we're going to cross this first river. There's a little bridge over here. So we're going to cross that, and then there's going to be a second river, which is where we are going to start heading upstream. So once we get up there, to that bridge up there, you can see, we are going to jump in the river, and we'll head up. And you could go to the right as well. There's another route you could take, but I like to take this route. This is just the one I've always taken. Since I was a little baby Halo player, I've grown up with it. So we're going to go this way, and you could take a right once you get up here. You should take a right once you get up here, and we will be hopping up onto this little roof here, and that will allow us to jump onto the next roof, and then we could just run along the wall here, fall down here, and we're going to move up here to this rock, and you want to crouch here, and you just want to wait here for a few seconds and allow the elites to move up. And I actually got shot by a grunt right there with a needler. That's very rare. He usually does not do that. But anyway, we're going to hop up on top of this rock and sprint down to the left. And there is going to be a health pack on the ground over here if you need it, which I do. So I'm going to grab that. And then I'll hop into this civilian vehicle. I believe it's called a Spade. Hop into that. There's no guns or anything, but you go faster. So that's what we want here. We're doing a speed run. And we're just going to keep driving, follow this path. Splatter that guy if he's there. If he's not, just keep going. And we're going to go to the left here. You could go to the right, but it's a circular map, and I like to go to the left here at this point. So go to the left. There's an encounter here that we're skipping. There's basically 3 encounters in this circular part of the map, and we're going to skip 2 of them, and then we're going to actually fight and deal with the third one we come upon. So we skipped that one. Now we are in another one. You can see some grunts along the roadside here and some buildings to the left. We skipped that, and you can see in the distance there's a dropship kind of firing on a location. That's where we want to go. I know it doesn't sound appealing. You don't really want to go to places where there's an active bombardment occurring, but that's where we're going to go. So I like to drive past this section actually for a little bit because the Spirit dropship's gun actually could do a lot of damage to you. So I drive past this broken bridge, past the encounter entirely, and I kind of just wait for the Spirit to just leave. And then I drive up and splatter as many people as possible. So that's what I'm doing now. It's leaving, so I'm moving forward again, back to where we want to be. And I'm just going to try to splatter as many people as I can and then hop out. You don't have to try to splatter them. It's just a fun little thing I do. And then we're just going to headshot all the grunts. That's all that will be here is grunts. There might be a skirmisher. There's like a rogue skirmisher that runs around this section, but is not dropped off initially by the dropship. He's just already kind of hanging out doing something over here. And we are going to exchange our assault rifle, or it doesn't really matter what gun you exchange, but grab the DMR from one of the Marines. There's 3 Marines, one will have a DMR. Grab it from him. And then grab the ammo that's on the ground back there that we just did. And you could finish off these guys here. And you want to grab a plasma pistol as well, so we have a noob combo now. And we could run up here to the top of the roof of this kind of building we're defending, this area. And you could actually just hang out up here the whole time. And your buddies down there will take out all of the enemies eventually, but this is a speed run, so we want to try to speed things up a little bit, obviously, so we'll just pick people off from up here. So there's going to be 2 more dropships that land here and drop off troops. The first one is going to have a bunch of grunts and an elite, and the second one is going to have a bunch of grunts and an elite. So we have to deal with a bunch of grunts and 2 more elites, basically. My shots are not great right now, but we're getting the job done. And we're just going to headshot the grunts. Obviously, they're a 1 headshot kill unless they have that faceplate on, unless they're the grunt ultras who have the white armor and the kind of helmet faceplate thing on them. And you can see I killed all the grunts, and I just jumped down here real quick to take out the elite. Kind of risky. I didn't really need to do that. I should have just waited if I wanted to be more safe. I could just, start in on the additional wave of grunts instead of jumping down there while there's a ton of people still alive and a dropship coming in, potentially firing at me and killing me. But it worked out. Most of the enemies are now dead. I actually didn't know there were still so many grunts alive. There's like 3 grunts alive over here. Did not know that. I would have, stayed a little further back and picked them off from afar, but it worked out here like it always does. It always works out. No one ever dies in Halo. But we're going to noob combo this elite. He dodged it, so be aware that's something that could happen. But we got him on the second one there, so we finished him off with a headshot. If you don't know what the noob combo is, it is basically an overcharged plasma pistol burst that I did right there. So hold the trigger down, it'll overcharge, and then once you release it, it will lock onto the enemy if you are aiming at him and he's within range, and it will totally collapse his shield, and then you just finish him off with a headshot real quick. But you want to make sure before you get on the Falcon here, you grab a plasma pistol from the ground so you have a fresh one, and then we're going to head over here. I skipped ahead and cut out the Falcon ride because we're just sitting in there doing nothing. We're going to land, and we're going to throw a couple grenades because there's a bunch of enemies clustered up here, so you can get a lot of kills real quick and take them out. This section is another section where all of your friendlies may or will take out all of the enemies if you just give them enough time, but obviously we're on a speed run, so we're going to try to speed things up. And we're going to go over here into the bunker, and there's actually some DMR ammo that we're going to grab up on the wall. So grab that. There's also a health pack down on the ground in front of it if you need health. And we are going to move over here. I'm actually going to go to the right over here and kind of go back the way we came, and I'm going to throw more grenades as the enemies land. So there's 2 more dropships that are going to be landing with a bunch of enemies. So I like to throw a grenade there to take out the bulk of the enemies there. And then I'm going to noob combo this elite. So that side of the dropship is taken out. And there's a bunch of other enemies that were dropped off on the other side, so we'll pick them off with the DMR, as many as we can. And then you want to try to grab plasma grenades as you kill enemies so you could have more to throw down at a later time. So that later time is now. We're going to drop enemies off. I'm going to throw a grenade. And you want to be aware of this elite because he actually gets dropped off pretty close to the doorway we were looking through. So be ready to noob combo him after you throw that grenade. And then we're just going to finish people off here. I'm about to get flanked because I forgot for a few seconds that there's more enemies that we didn't kill over there. We killed a bunch of the grunts with that nade, and we killed that elite. But there's jackals over there as well, and they were pushing forward, trying to kill me. A deadly mistake. Don't forget that there's more enemies over there. But just don't be an idiot like I was. So we're going to go back into the bunker. You can see the current objective says fall back into outpost. That means come into this bunker area. The rest of Noble Team will come back in as well. And then the door will slowly close. And at this point, you want to stay away from the door because this is all scripted at this point. And you don't want to die from a stray Banshee bomb or a nade or something. But we're going to skip ahead here because there's a cutscene. And then we're going to get to this last section of the mission. We want to pop off the kind of tops of these gas tank type things. They're going to explode. And hopefully we get a kill on some of the enemies up here. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I thought I got a kill on a grunt or a jackal. And I thought a plasma pistol was up here, which is why I'm sprinting forward. Looks like it's a needler. So that is useless to me. I was going to noob combo the elite from far away. And then you can see I got stuck between that crate and that wall, and it almost cost me. I almost died. That elite up there has a concussion rifle, so he could do a lot of damage real quick. Fortunately, I had one more sliver of life left to give, and my shield is now up, and we're going to be more cautious. I'm trying to find a plasma pistol. There is a plasma pistol. There's more DMR ammo on the wall. Obviously, I exchanged for that when we first got to this room, so now I have a noob combo, a DMR, and a plasma pistol. And you can see that the elite actually runs away if you move up, so he's retreating to the final room, so we'll deal with him there. And you can see I'm using the geometry in front of me to kind of shield myself from most of the shots. They like to shoot you generally in the chest, so if your chest is obscured by the geometry in front of you, they will just mostly shoot that, and the stray bullets that hit your head are only because the weapons they're firing are not that accurate. So most of the bullets will go into the geometry in front of you, so you could get a good advantage on them by being able to lay into them with a bunch of shots, and they can't really get that many on you. But there's 4 grunts in this section, so we could take them out with DMR, obviously headshot them. And then there's 2 elites in this section now because the one that was in the previous section ran back here. So we're going to have to deal with him with a noob combo. But this wall I'm on right now is pretty useful. You could jump onto the pipe behind it and then get on top of the wall from there. And I did jump down from it and kind of gave up my height advantage, but We noob comboed those 2 elites real quick, sprint into here and activate this control panel. So you can see here we came in at under par time at 11:56. The par time is 15 minutes. Again, if you get all par times on Legendary, you will unlock this achievement because the par times add up to 2:35, 2 hours 35 minutes, which would give us a buffer of 25 minutes over par time. But now that we have this time saved, we could add it on, so we have 28 minutes and 4 seconds for a buffer if for whatever reason we can't land the par time on Legendary on other missions. But that's it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next one when we tackle Oni's sword base. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you can find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.